I travel around to different cities around the country and organize large public events or coalitions. I primarily work on media ownership issues, so I'm engaging activists and building coalitions around media ownership, and specifically the rule changes that are happening at the FCC right now, 2006 and 2007. I also work a bit on telecommunications policy. Internet neutrality is one of our issues, and protecting PEG and redlining and ensuring that cable and telecommunications companies are providing good service and quality service to communities. My name is Amanda Ballantyne. I'm the field organizer at Free Press. Our staff has been working on organizing this conference for about 18 months. We had our last conference in St. Louis about 18 months ago, and after a very short break, we started organizing this one. We have a very small staff comparatively for the size of conference that we're doing, and so there are so many elements that go into putting it together. You have finding and locating all of the speakers, coordinating all the workshops. I think we have over 150 speakers and presenters talking here this weekend. You have finding and arranging the entertainment for the evening plenaries, and that involves a lot of networking. And because we don't have a big budget, how are we going to pay to get rock bands to come in and play? So we use our connections and we talk to people. We talk to artists who care about the issue, and we bring them in. And we have to outreach and let everyone in the country know that this is happening, and help them find ways to get here, whether it's putting together scholarships and committees to review those scholarships. There's so much work that goes into it, but it's all worthwhile, because when you walk around and you see people who are wonky political apparatchiks in Washington talking to grassroots activists, or when you see people who've maybe just become politically active and they come out and they're just completely blown away, and then there are all these resources of people who they can talk to. And I think the ripple effect of the conference just continues on and on and on. What's going on at the Federal Communications Commission right now, the FCC is working on changing the ownership rules to let big media companies buy more local outlets. They tried to do it 3 years ago. We beat them in court, which is why we don't have the bad rules right now. We do have bad rules right now. These are going to make everything worse. So that's the number one issue that I'm working on right now, and I spend a lot of time traveling the country talking about that. And the other issue is the telecommunications bills and what's happening with cable and TV franchising. I think that is, broadband is increasingly the future of all media. All media services will be delivered via broadband in the coming years. And if we don't work really hard right now to ensure that those deals and agreements are set up in a way that respects the public interest, we're going to be in a world of hurt, in 3 years or 5 years, when our TVs don't work because of the digital transition, and when we can't afford our cable bills, or we don't have the options that we want. So that is increasingly, the telecommunications companies are sort of working across the country on a state-by-state basis, trying to change the state laws in the corporate interest and not the public interest. And so we're having all these little state battles and fights. And so that's the other really key issue in my mind. There's going to be a similar fight when we as we fight to save the internet and net neutrality. It's basically the same set of questions. Who's going to be in control? How much control do consumers have? How much do they have to pay for it? How easily can they get the information and news that they need? Media is not just any industry. It's like Walmart, but it's not, because it's like the lifeblood of democracy. It's like the lubrication with which politics in our country work and function. And when the wheels start to get squeaky and not turn, all of a sudden, people aren't getting what they need. People, they can't engage with their government. They're not getting the information. They're not hearing their local culture on the radio. I think it really isolates people. And I think that we need to be heading in the opposite direction of building community and building resources and engagement.